What does Immanuel Quickley bring to the New York Knicks? What's going on, guys? Welcome in to Clutch B-Ball TV. I hope you guys had an amazing day or night. And today I'm talking about Immanuel Quickley. Of course, we drafted him with the 25th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. As you guys know, originally we had the 27th pick due to the Marcus Morris trade, and then we ended up trading up to get the 23rd pick, and then we went on to select Leonardo Bolmaro. Knicks fans were going crazy, ballistic. Everyone was just absolutely pissed off. And then we ended up trading him to Minnesota, of course, and then we ended up getting the 25th pick and also the 33rd pick. The 33rd pick didn't result in anything for us except a future second rounder. I was actually kind of pissed when we went on to select Daniel Otero and then trade him for a future draft pick, which is basically a middle schooler right now. So shout out to that middle schooler that's potentially going to be a New York Knick for us. But I actually like Daniel Otero. But Immanuel Quickley from Kentucky I thought was a very interesting pick at 25. Do I think we could have got him at 33? Yes, I really do believe that. He was mocked later, but maybe some teams were desperately really in love with this prospect. Yes, he's listed as a point guard, but he's more off the ball in my opinion. I don't think he's the greatest of playmaker. That part of his game has not slowed down for him yet. When it comes to that side of the basketball, he's more of a reactive playmaker. He's not going to be able to just slow it down in the half-court setting and make the right basketball play. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if it's his instincts, but he does not have consistent vision on that side of the basketball, and he does not have a consistent handle for that side of the basketball. I really do think he has potential as a secondary ball handler, but he was definitely taken for his shooting potential, and it's not even potential because I think it will translate. He has a very good base. He has a nice jab step in his arsenal to create separation. He has a nice step back as well. He really is good at creating separation. He has such a smooth shot with a good base, and it's very quick as well. He does need to get better coming off of screens more effectively and hitting them on a more consistent basis, but he's definitely going to be a good movement shooter, and I think he's going to have some potential off the dribble. But he shot 42% from downtown, and another sign that he's going to be a good shooter in the NBA is he shot 92% from the charity stripe, and this isn't a fluke from downtown because he was attempting 5 a game. But there's a hole in his game, and that's definitely finishing at the basket using his physicality. He definitely needs to get stronger. But a good sign for Knicks fans out there that want to be happy about Immanuel Quickley finishing near the basket is his floater. He was top 5 in college basketball when it came to using the floater, which is definitely a big part of his arsenal for sure. He's good at using a jab step, going quick to the basket, and floating it up with just great timing. He's really good at recognizing when there's a bigger guy to float it over and not just rush it up there for sure. But he definitely needs to get stronger if he wants to use his physicality more. But it's definitely a very high quality shot, which he hit on a very high consistent basis with a high shooting percentage. Yes, going back, he is listed as a point guard, and I get it, Tyrese Maxey was listed as a shooting guard, but at the beginning of the season, yes, they gave some ball handling duties to Immanuel Quickley, but Tyrese Maxey handled the ball more. But then getting to the defense side of the basketball, which I think is definitely a high part of his game, a very high quality part of his game for Immanuel Quickley, is his on-ball defense. He was really good at making people feel uncomfortable on that side of the basketball. He's an absolute pest, and he's very fundamental. Like I said, he's not the strongest, but he has that long wingspan, and he's not crazy quick, but he's good at closing out due to his long wingspan. He did a very good job against Nwora from Louisville. He was on fire, but he did a really good job shutting off those lanes of where he's comfortable at and not getting him to his strong parts or strong parts of the court, getting to the elbows, which he's strong at. He was forcing him to the top of the key, and that type of thing. He's really good at making players feel uncomfortable, but he definitely needs to get better when it comes to off the ball. But like I said, I think he has some potential off the ball because he's so good at shutting off those lanes of those strong parts of the offensive players' games for sure. And getting back to the offense of the basketball real quick, we'll see if he has some potential off the dribble. Yes, he can create his own shot. He really is good at knowing when to use the pump fake. He doesn't just throw up a shot. He notices that someone's closing out, and he has really good timing when it comes to using his pump fake and creating separation. We'll see if he can get to his spots in mid-range territory. We'll see if he's good at coming off of screens. I'm not sure if he's the handle of Frank Ntilikina. I'm really going to have to see in an NBA live action game to see if his handle's good enough to play the point guard position, but I definitely do think he's better off the ball. I think he's more of that catch and shoot 3-and-D guy, which is definitely a good recipe for success in today's NBA. Another knock on Immanuel Quickley is his athleticism, but I'm really not a big believer in athleticism. Why you're a good NBA player? If you take a look at Luka Doncic, yes, Luka Doncic has just been this prodigy since he's been 15 to 16 years old, but the reason why he's such a great basketball player is because of his body control and his basketball IQ. It's absolutely off the charts, and Immanuel Quickley has a good head on his shoulders, and he definitely puts in the work, and he plays very smart in my opinion. But a lot of players are drafted due to their athleticism. Like, would Dennis Smith Jr. be a lottery pick if he didn't have that athleticism? At the end of the day, would Tyler Bay be drafted in the 2020 NBA draft if he didn't have athleticism? Because he was definitely known as this guy coming in, good defensive player, good athlete. Same thing with Matisse Thybulle, but maybe Matisse Thybulle's athleticism or his defensive IQ was so good, the reason why he was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers out of Washington. But I really do think he's going to bring some good things to the New York Knicks. Immanuel Quickley, specifically the shooting department, and that's just a good sign that he's a good shooter. If you take a look at his free throw percentage, he's just such a high basketball IQ player. For his division or for his conference, he actually went on to win Player of the Year. Same thing with Obi Toppin. And also bringing in a Miles Powell from Seton Hall, he was also his conference Player of the Year as well. So we're bringing in these guys that are legitimate talents. I'm really excited to see how he's going to translate to the NBA. I think he's going to translate very well. Yes, he's only 6'3", but he's definitely a guy that's going to make up for it with his basketball IQ. I definitely do think they're going to play him off the ball, but if he does prove me wrong and ends up being our point guard of the future, I'll be very excited about that. But yes, his passing definitely needs help, and I don't think certain things could be coached up when it comes to that side of the basketball. Yes, some things can, but there's some things he just can't see. I think it's going to come with experience and time of the game will eventually slow down, but just hitting his three, coming off of screens on a more efficient basis or consistent basis is definitely going to, like, that's a big knock for sure. Just hitting them on a consistent basis, coming off of screens, but he's a very smooth shot. It's very quick. He's a nice floater in his arsenal. Would like to see him get stronger, but I do think he's athletic enough. Not like he can't dunk at all, but at the end of the day, he's a shooter. We need shooting, 3-and-D player. The Knicks need 3-and-D players at the end of the day, but I hope he proves me wrong and ends up being our point guard of the future. But right now, I do look at him more of a 2 guard, and he's insane confidence. I've seen him hit some big shots down the stretch, but he's also like going to make the right basketball play, but he also knows when to get his, which I absolutely love. Great confidence, good head on his shoulders. He's going to listen. He's very coachable. But let me know down below your thoughts and analysis on Immanuel Quickley. Do you think he'll be a good player for the New York Knicks? Do you think it was a stupid pick? And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.